It was a warm summer evening in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Phoenix, USA. The sky was glowing orange as the sun slowly set behind the houses. Kids were riding their bikes down the street, neighbors were walking their dogs, and the smell of fresh-cut grass filled the air. In my backyard, I was preparing a small barbecue gathering. The grill was hot, and thick steaks were sizzling over the fire. Burgers and corn were lined up on the side, ready to go on the grill. The smoky aroma drifted through the neighborhood. A couple of my friends were on their way over. It wasn't a big party, just a relaxing evening with food and conversation. Then suddenly, a front door slammed across the street. Everyone turned. Out stepped HOA Karen. She walked out quickly like she had just discovered a crime. She was wearing her usual royal gray pantsuit, perfectly pressed, with a clipboard in one hand and her phone in the other. Her hair was pulled tightly back, and her face looked serious and irritated. She marched straight toward the fence that separated our yards. "HY," she shouted. I looked up from the grill. "What's going on?" Karen leaned over the fence, still dressed in her royal gray pantsuit, staring at the grill like it was illegal. "You can't do this." I blinked in confusion. "Can't do what?" "This barbecue," she snapped. "It's against HOA rules." I looked around. There were no loudspeakers, no huge crowd, just a grill and a table. "Karen," I said calmly, "it's Saturday evening." "I'm just grilling." She slammed her clipboard shut. HOA Guideline Section 14, Excessive Smoke and Neighborhood Disturbance. I almost laughed. "Karen, it's a barbecue. There's supposed to be smoke." Her eyes narrowed. "I'm calling the police." Without waiting another second, she pulled out her phone and dialed. My friend Alex had just walked through the back gate. "Did she just call the cops?" he asked. "Yep," I said while flipping a burger. "Over a barbecue?" "Apparently." Across the street, Karen stood in her driveway, still wearing her royal gray pantsuit, angrily talking into the phone while pointing at my backyard like she had caught a criminal. Neighbors started stepping outside their houses, curious about the scene. Within 10 minutes, flashing blue lights appeared at the end of the street. A police cruiser slowly rolled up and parked near the curb. Karen immediately rushed toward it. Her royal gray pantsuit jacket moved sharply as she waved her arms to get the officer's attention. The officer stepped out of the car and looked around the quiet street. "Yes, ma'am. What seems to be the problem?" Karen pointed dramatically toward my backyard. "That man is violating HOA rules with an illegal barbecue gathering." The officer raised an eyebrow. "A barbecue?" "Yes. Excessive smoke and disturbance." The officer walked calmly toward my yard. "Sir," he said politely, "what's going on here?" I smiled and pointed at the grill. "Just cooking dinner with friends." The officer sniffed the air. "Smells pretty good." My friends laughed. Karen quickly walked over, still standing stiffly in her royal gray pantsuit. "Officer, you need to shut this down immediately." The officer looked confused. "Ma'am, HOA complaints usually aren't police matters." Karen's voice got louder. "But he's breaking the rules." The officer sighed slightly. "That would normally be handled by the HOA board." Karen crossed her arms. "Then call them." Almost as if on cue, another vehicle pulled up to the street. It was an HOA management vehicle. 2 HOA representatives stepped out. Karen suddenly straightened her posture. Her royal gray pantsuit looked even more formal as she walked confidently toward them. "Good," she said. "You're here." The HOA manager approached the group. "We received a complaint about a barbecue?" Karen opened her folder quickly. "Yes. Major violation." The manager looked toward my grill. "Sir, how many guests do you have?" "2," I said. He nodded slowly. Then he turned to Karen. "BBQs are allowed in the community as long as they're before quiet hours." Karen froze. "What?" "The rule was updated last year." A few neighbors quietly chuckled. Karen's confident expression cracked. That can't be right." The manager pulled out a printed sheet. "It's right here." Karen's hands tightened around her folder. She was still wearing the same royal gray pantsuit, but now she looked nervous instead of powerful. Then the manager said something unexpected. "Actually, Karen, we also received complaints about you." Karen's head snapped up. About me. The manager pointed toward her house. Your security camera. The police officer turned to look. What about it? The manager explained calmly. It's pointed directly into your neighbor's backyards. The entire street went quiet. The officer frowned. Ma'am, is your camera recording neighboring property? Karen immediately tried to explain. It's for security. The HOA manager shook his head. Several neighbors reported that it records their private spaces. My friend Alex whispered beside me. Wait, she's been recording everyone? The officer walked toward Karen's house to inspect the camera. Karen followed him quickly, her royal gray pantsuit no longer looking so confident. The officer looked up at the camera mounted near her garage. Ma'am, this is clearly pointed at your neighbor's backyard. Karen stuttered. I didn't realize. The HOA manager spoke firmly. We've warned you before. The officer pulled out a notepad. This could be a privacy violation. Karen's face went pale. A violation? Yes, ma'am. The neighbors began murmuring. Karen stood there silently, still in her royal gray pantsuit, but now looking completely defeated. The officer finished writing and handed her a notice. You'll need to adjust the camera immediately. There may also be a fine. Karen said nothing. Meanwhile, the officer walked back toward my yard. Well, he said with a small smile, looks like your barbecue isn't the problem. I laughed. Want a burger, officer? He smiled. Tempting, but I'm on duty. Everyone laughed. Karen slowly walked back to her house, her royal gray pantsuit now looking less like authority and more like embarrassment. Her front door quietly closed. Across the street, the barbecue continued. The grill sizzled, friends laughed, and the smell of burgers filled the evening air. Alex took a bite of his burger and grinned. She called the police on your barbecue and ended up getting caught herself. I flipped another burger and smiled. Best barbecue I've ever hosted. Fire.